Today is September 23rd, 2025. As the sun rises on another day, the reality of life for thousands of Americans remains unchanged, hidden in plain sight. I'm standing at the edge of a sprawling city made of tents, tarps, and makeshift shelters. The air is thick with the sounds of daily life. Voices, footsteps, the distant hum of traffic, blending together in a place that feels both temporary and permanent. This is America. Tent cities growing in the shadows of our most prosperous cities, from Los Angeles to Seattle. Here, the gleaming skyscrapers and bustling downtowns are just blocks away from communities struggling to survive. These camps are home to thousands, not just single men, but women, families, and children. Some have been here for months, others for years, each with a story shaped by hardship, hope, and resilience. The scale is staggering. Camps stretch for city blocks, housing hundreds, sometimes thousands. From above, the patchwork of tents and tarps looks almost endless, a testament to the magnitude of the crisis. Walking through, you see blue tarps, shopping carts, and structures built from discarded wood. Every item tells a story of resourcefulness, of necessity, of making do with what little is available. These are not just temporary campsites. For many, they are home. People have created living spaces decorated with personal touches, trying to carve out a sense of normalcy amid uncertainty. Despite the hardship, there's a sense of community. People share food, help each other, and create small pockets of normalcy. Neighbors look out for one another, forming bonds that are often stronger than those found in traditional neighborhoods. It's a powerful reminder, even when people have lost everything, they haven't lost their humanity. Acts of kindness, laughter, and friendship persist, even in the harshest conditions. The crisis is too big to ignore. It's a defining challenge of our time. The contrast between wealth and poverty is stark, and the need for solutions has never been more urgent. My goal is to understand not just how people survive here, but who they are, and how they ended up in a place most of us hope we never see. Each person has a unique journey. Some lost jobs, others faced medical emergencies, and many were priced out of housing as rents soared. This is a humanitarian crisis unfolding on our own soil. It's not just a statistic or a headline, it's a daily reality for real people, in real communities across the nation. And it's getting bigger every day. As more people slip through the cracks, these tent cities continue to grow, challenging us all to confront the uncomfortable truth about inequality in America. The soundscape of a tent city is a constant hum, tarps rustling in the wind, dogs barking at passers-by, and the distant, ever-present rumble of city traffic. These sounds blend together, creating a unique symphony that marks the rhythm of daily life here. Sometimes you hear laughter or the clatter of a shopping cart being pushed along the sidewalk, adding to the chorus of survival. As you walk through, you notice shoes carefully lined up outside tents, each pair telling a story of journeys taken and places left behind. A child's teddy bear sits on a makeshift porch, a small but powerful symbol of innocence and hope amid uncertainty. Nearby, a tiny garden grows in a bucket, tended with care, proof that even here, people nurture life and beauty wherever they can. People sweep the sidewalk in front of their tents, trying to keep their small patch of ground clean. They organize their belongings with pride, creating order out of chaos. These daily routines, sweeping, sorting, tidying, are acts of resilience, small ways to reclaim dignity and build a semblance of normal life in an unpredictable world. The acrid smoke from campfires hangs in the air, curling above the tents and mixing with the aroma of coffee brewing on a camp stove or food grilling over an open fire. These scents are reminders of home, of comfort, and of the simple pleasures that people hold on to, even when everything else is uncertain. But not all the smells are pleasant. In areas without proper sanitation, the sharp odor of human waste and garbage is a grim reality, a constant reminder of the challenges faced by those living here. Overflowing trash bins and makeshift toilets speak to the urgent need for basic services and dignity. There's anxiety and fear in the air. People worry about their safety, about losing what little they have, and about where their next meal will come from. Faces show the strain of sleepless nights and the constant need to keep watch over their belongings. Every day brings new uncertainties, yet, despite the hardships, there's resilience. People share jokes to lighten the mood, offer a cigarette to a neighbor, or simply sit together in quiet companionship. These small acts of kindness and connection help everyone get through the day. Out of necessity, they've built a society, a community where people look out for one another. Moments of kindness and friendship are everywhere. Someone shares a meal, helps fix a tent, or offers a listening ear. These bonds are lifelines in a world that often feels isolating. Life continues here in all its complexity. People find ways to celebrate birthdays, care for pets, and mark the passage of time. Children play, adults chat, and routines form, even in the most difficult circumstances. These details, the personal items, the portraits, the everyday moments, reveal the humanity behind the crisis. Each person here has a story, a past, and hopes for the future. Even in hardship, people refuse to give up on life. They find hope in small gestures, in tending to plants or pets, and in the simple act of persevering, day after day. I met James, a former mechanic whose hands once built engines and fixed cars, but whose life took a sharp turn after a sudden medical crisis. He lost his job, his savings, and eventually his home, all because of an illness he never saw coming. Now, he sits quietly among the tents, his eyes reflecting both hardship and resilience. James showed me a faded photograph of his old auto repair shop, a place that once buzzed with life and laughter. In his rough, calloused hands, he also held a family photo, reminders of a time when he had stability, purpose, and hope. His story is a stark reminder that homelessness can happen to anyone, regardless of how secure life may seem. Then there's Maria, a woman in her 30s who gently braids her daughter Lily's hair outside their tent. Despite the chaos around them, Maria creates moments of normalcy and comfort for her child, determined to shield Lily from the harshness of their reality. Maria and Lily fled an abusive home, seeking safety wherever they could find it. When shelters were full, the streets became their only refuge. Now, Maria's every thought is about giving Lily a sense of safety, hope, and a future beyond these sidewalks. Kevin, just 22, spent his childhood in foster care. When he aged out, he found himself alone, working full-time but unable to afford rent in the city. Despite his best efforts, the odds were stacked against him. For a while, Kevin lived in his car, using it as a last line of defense against the streets. But when it was impounded, he lost not just his shelter but his sense of independence and security. Now, Kevin is scraping together every dollar he can, saving for a deposit on a small room. Each coin he counts is a step toward reclaiming his dignity and a place to call his own. These stories, though unique, share a common thread. None of these individuals chose this life. Circumstances beyond their control forced them onto the streets. They are victims of circumstance. Job loss, sudden health crises, broken families, or a system that failed to catch them when they fell. Each face tells a story of struggle but also of perseverance. Many speak of their past lives with a mix of longing and hope. They remember homes filled with laughter, steady jobs, and dreams for the future. Despite everything, they still hold on to hope for a better tomorrow. Homelessness does not define them. They are defined by the lives they lived before, the love they gave, and the hope they still nurture, even in the face of adversity. Their stories are a powerful indictment of a society that allows so many to fall so far so fast. It's a call to action for all of us to do better. Each person here has a story worth hearing, a story that could easily belong to any one of us, if circumstances were just a little different. The line between us and them is far thinner than we like to believe. A single twist of fate can change everything. These are not strangers. They are our neighbors, our fellow citizens, people with dreams and stories just like ours. Their resilience, kindness, and hope in the face of adversity are a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. Their stories deserve to be heard, remembered, and honored. The explosion of tent cities is driven by a severe lack of affordable housing. Wages haven't kept up with rent, and one missed paycheck can mean losing your home. Stable jobs have been replaced by gig work, leaving many without security. The pandemic exposed these vulnerabilities, and when protections ended, evictions soared. Mental health and addiction services are underfunded, leaving the most vulnerable with nowhere to turn. Criminalizing poverty only makes things worse. Fines and arrests create more barriers. The system often pushes people further into the margins. This crisis is the result of systemic failures, not individual choices. Large encampments create tension with surrounding communities. Homeowners and businesses worry about crime, sanitation, and lost customers. The issue becomes polarized. Residents want camps cleared, while advocates fight for the unhoused. Sweeps just move people from block to block, never solving the root problem. Public spaces lose their original purpose, but the encampment is a symptom, not the cause. Housed and unhoused communities are interconnected. The solution isn't to push the problem out of sight, it's to address both communities' concerns. We need safe, serviced locations for people to live while working toward permanent housing. Real solutions require investment in prevention and support. Only then can we restore trust and rebuild our communities. It's easy to see tents as a problem or a statistic, but inside each is a person with a story. They're not just the homeless. They're Michael, a former chef, Susan, a grandmother, David, a veteran. These are people with dreams and aspirations, not a monolith. I met a young woman teaching herself to code at the library, and an artist sketching portraits in a worn notebook. Their dreams don't disappear, they're just buried under daily survival. Many have lost contact with family, but those connections still matter deeply. Reducing people to a label strips them of their humanity. If we listen, we see the line between us and them is thin. They love, they hope, they want a safe place to call home. Remembering their humanity is the first step to real solutions. They're not the problem, they're people experiencing a problem. Compassion is essential. We must see the individuals behind the crisis. Life in a tent city is a relentless struggle for survival. Finding food and clean water is a daily challenge. Health and hygiene are constant crises. No showers, no toilets, and minor injuries can become life-threatening. Chronic conditions go unmanaged, and exposure to the elements is deadly. Personal safety is a constant fear. There's no door to lock, no safe place for belongings. The stress is exhausting, making it harder to escape homelessness. Yet, hope persists. A kind word from an outreach worker, a small act of generosity, or the dream of reuniting with family. Faith, community, and small victories keep people going. Hope is a form of resistance. It's the belief that today's reality can change. In these communities, hope is the most precious resource. It fuels the will to keep fighting. Emergency shelters have been the main response, but they're overcrowded and often not a real solution. Many people feel safer in a tent than in a shelter. Cities are trying new approaches, sanctioned encampments and tiny home villages with basic services and case managers. The most effective solution is housing first. Give people a home, then provide support. This approach is humane and cost-effective, breaking the cycle of homelessness. Solving this crisis requires investment in affordable housing, living wages, and mental health care. It's not a simple fix. It needs coordinated effort and a shift in public will. We must see homelessness as a systemic failure, not an individual one. This crisis might feel distant, but it affects us all, our health, safety, and the fabric of our society. The people in these encampments are not strangers, they are us. The line between having a home and not is thinner than we think. Ignoring their suffering is ignoring a part of ourselves. Empathy is about recognition, seeing yourself in someone else's struggle. Change begins with awareness and listening to real stories. We have a responsibility to amplify their voices. This isn't just a political issue, it's a human one. If we face this crisis with compassion and commitment, we can build a country where everyone has a safe place to call home. The first step is to care. Your attention matters.